Hey, it's Andrew, and we are up to R in the S.U.R.E success method, and the R stands for release, which has to do with changing limiting beliefs and breaking negative patterns. One of the biggest challenges to our success is what we believe about ourselves. The obstacles, they're presented by limiting beliefs. Now, these beliefs are dangerous because we may not even realize that they're there. So I've created a list of questions below to help identify if you're harboring some of these toxic thought patterns. Do you tend to lower your aspirations, hopes, and dreams because you don't truly feel as though you can accomplish the desired goals? When you lower your goals, it's a sure path to mediocrity. You're not going to reach your true potential, and you'll have a harder time making your mark and standing out from the crowd. Do you find yourself in cyclical patterns of self-sabotage? Here is a vicious cycle. First, you put everything you have into obtaining the success you desire. You focus intently, work harder than most to the edge of exhaustion. Then, this lingering feeling creeps in that no matter how hard you're working and how much progress you're making, you start to make some critical mistakes. All of your progress comes to a halt. And the self-sabotage that is evidenced by these mistakes reinforces the belief that deep down, you believe you're a failure and don't deserve success. You increase your procrastination and laziness, and it becomes easier to put off important tasks if you don't believe performing those tasks are going to lead to your success. Do you notice a lack of energy that occurs when your actions and beliefs are in conflict? Your heart and body move towards one thing, but your mind moves towards another. And so you're in a fight with yourself. The drainage of energy that occurs in this internal struggle is enormous. Without every ounce of your potential energy, you cannot accomplish what and when you want it. However, if you properly align your heart, body, and mind, you'll have the life force to move mountains. So how do you get to this amazing place? Well, there are ways, and I'll show you. The first exercise is ideal if you're a person who needs things to be logical. If you have difficulty with things that you cannot see right in front of you and touch, this is suited for you. If you don't know what your limiting beliefs are, you can't get rid of them. So take time, set aside some time in a quiet place to identify these beliefs. And when you do, write them down. Like truly think about the negative thoughts that come up consistently day in and day out. A great way to start is to think about a subject that makes you anxious. A common trigger for many people is money or finances. Whatever the subject and scenario is for you, you want it to feel uncomfortable. When you feel very anxious, fearful, and worried, stop. Write down what thoughts are in your mind. Now, this may feel a bit overwhelming, so you need to break it down. Choose one of the beliefs on your list to work on. Ask yourself, why do I believe this? Many of our beliefs are from earlier times in our lives, likely childhood, and were programmed into us from our parents, teachers, and other quote-unquote superiors. This is a collective consciousness, and it's not necessarily true. Sure path to mediocrity and a life that is not your best. Now, play a little detective in your minds and look for clues and evidence that proves these beliefs to be false. Now, this can be some heavy mental lifting, but you need to try. Go through your mind and think of any examples from your life where you know that these beliefs were not true. As soon as you see it in your head, write down what makes the belief untrue. These examples may be for you personally or from situations that you've seen happen to other people. Write them all down. It's likely that these beliefs are buried in your subconscious and have manifested as patterns in your psychology. These beliefs are all attached to triggers, and often triggers are situational. So here's where the rubber meets the road. Now that you know what these beliefs are and the situations that trigger them, whenever you catch yourself thinking the belief, you must bring up an image of the exact opposite. For example, if you believe that you're not successful because you didn't come from money, switch to a thought pattern of all the people you can think of who are successful, who came from situations that were as difficult or even more difficult than yours. Now, this takes practice, so don't get frustrated if you can't perfect this the first couple of times you try it. Prepare examples of people to think of who have made it, who had the odds stacked against them. Make them your go-tos. Do this same exercise for every belief on your list. Ideally, start with the belief that you find to be the easiest to eliminate and work your way to the most difficult. Let's move on to the next technique, NLP, Neuro-Linguistic Programming. NLP is an approach to communication, personal development, and psychotherapy that was developed back in the 70s by two men, Richard Bandler and John Grinder. Now, NLP shows the correlation between neurological processes, where the neural comes from, language, linguistic, and behavioral patterns learned through life experience, aka programming, that can be modified in order to achieve specific goals. NLP works with rewiring our belief patterns by changing the way we talk and think about ourselves. So here's how you can change some of your self-limiting beliefs using NLP. Practice changing the tense of your negative self-talk from the present to the past. Statements made in the present cause us to believe that it's our reality. Conversely, statements made in the past indicate that the event has come and gone. So this facilitates a transition that opens up new future possibilities. So for example, instead of saying, I am so disorganized, switch it to, I've been so disorganized in the past, but now I have things under control. Even if you don't feel comfortable changing the statement, when you replace the tense from present to past with the simple switching of am and have been, it creates a shift in reality. Again, takes practice. Definitely worth the practice to get to become a master of that exercise. Next, identify your desired outcome. Pick a date in the future that you want this outcome to happen. By using the power of the mind's imagery, imagine that your desired outcome has already happened. Visualize the event, the date that it's going to happen, and view it in your mind as though it's already happened. Do this every day. Now, of course, you may not be able to do it every day, but make sure you're consistent and do it as often as you can. Like, truly visualize every little detail of the future event. Like, see it in color. What sounds are you hearing? Bring yourself into that movie scene playing in your head. Tune into the sensations once you have the scene fully visualized. How does your body feel? What are the emotions that you feel? If there were people in the scene, how do they react when the event happened? At the very least, spend 15 minutes committed to the visualization practice to truly make it feel real. Okay, there you go. Some techniques for R, the release, where we're changing our limiting beliefs and negative patterns with the S.U.R.E Success Coaching. If you would like to have a free 30-minute talk to get to know each other and discuss some of your obstacles that you would like to overcome with Success Coaching, the S.U.R.E Success Method, take a breath and head over to our website, yogamovesyou.org. We'll figure out together what success looks like for you, and I'll help you get there. Thanks for listening.
Yoga Moves You Podcast.